What's up, everybody? This is Kieran Reese, otherwise known as the Obsessed Compulsive Gamer of the O.C.G, and hopefully I am live. Playing a cult classic fan favorite, Golden Sun. I was watching the modular video the other day, and it actually got me interested in it. I mean, I wanted to play Golden Sun for a while, but seeing his video made me want to play it. Right now, let's test, make sure everything's working. Okay, I think it's working. Okay, I think I'm just gonna stick with the default name. Isaac, wake up! Please, dear, wake up! The Mount Aleph boulder is going to fall. Come on, Isaac, we have to go now. Isaac, you forgot something. It's pouring outside. Don't go out without your tunic. I will say the start of this game is actually really fucking dark. That's no, I don't like that. Your party, okay? So which way do I go? Dude, I'm so fucking confused. No, there's literally no other way to go. Am I crazy? Oh. That's not a lot of pressure to put somebody under. No, this is Game Boy. And the sound for the game's coming in, right? I've had it, nope. I've, had issues with the, capture card where I had to tweak it because the audio for the game was skipping. So, if you hear any skipping in the game, let me know. I tested it earlier. I listened to it myself, but so I think it's fine. But if it has any issues, you have, like I said, you gotta let me know. I've occasionally had issues with my mic is fine, but the game audio is skippy. Okay, that's good. So if you hear any issues with the game audio, just let me know. And no, this is Game Boy. Golden Sun is one of the main Game Boy games. And actually kind of sad, too. Because, Camelot did this game. And Camelot now is pretty much known for doing Nintendo sports games. Nintendo Tennis, Nintendo Soccer, shit like that. But back in the day, for Sega, they used to, yeah, it sucks. I'll look into ways to lower the latency. I'm sure there's settings I can tweak. I'm honestly new to OBS. But Camelot, back on Sega did like a bunch of the Shining Force games, pretty good RPGs. And then they got away from that. For the sports games on the 64. And then they decided to Nintendo wanted a big RPG for GBA. And they kind of went back to their old school roots for Golden Sun, and the game became so big. Yeah, the game became so big that they had to put it into 2 parts: Golden Sun and Golden Sun: The Lost Age. And this series has a huge cult following. So many people will tell you Golden Sun is awesome. I've been meaning to play Golden Sun for a while. And what kind of cinched the deal? Because what cinched the deal was one of my favorite YouTubers, Modular, did a video about The Lost Age. The second game, he did one about Golden Sun 1. But, so, what really made me want to play this game is, in this game, you play one half of this party. And you're competing with this other group that seems like they're the bad guys. And, when you play near the end of the first game, this game, apparently you learn that the guys, it isn't as black and white as it seems. That the guys that you're after aren't really your enemies. And then in the second game, The Lost Age, you play the guys that were the bad guys from the original game. And see their side of the story. But Golden Sun 2 is really big. So one thing I thought was really cool is once you get to like the second half of the second game, because the second game is fucking huge, by the way. The second Golden Sun is literally one of the biggest Game Boy Advance games ever. You join back up with the party from the first game, because like I said, you learn at the end of the first game that the rivals aren't as bad as they seem. So then the second game, the first part of it is showing you basically what happened from their perspective. And then once they put aside their differences, they join up. But what's so cool is so you get the party from the first game back into the second, and they actually let you transfer your save file over from one game to the other. You could either use a GBA link cable, 2 GBAs and a link cable, or you could use a password. And it could be really long, because it would carry over every item, everything you had. Your level, everything. So it was like a 260 character password, man. But I actually really dig that. That, like, you actually have the party from one game coming over into the other, and basically carrying your save file over from one game into the other. And I thought that was fucking sick, because I never heard of another Game Boy game doing that. That actually lets you carry your save files and shit across games. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And that combined with the reviewer doing it, he did a video about this, Modular. I highly recommend his YouTube channel if you've never watched him. He doesn't really stream, but he does long-form retrospectives about games. He really was talking about how good these games were, and it made me want to play it, so I decided to bite the bullet. And I will say this game begins immediately with a hardcore shit going on. Oh, no. Like, literally, this game begins with a giant boulder about to fall on your village. Apparently, there's a giant boulder at the top of this mountain. It rolls down. And, you're basically woken up in the middle of the night by your mom to get the fuck out of the village. And then, like, what you've seen is me trying to get help in the village. So, unlike, a lot of RPGs which have kind of a slow start, and are kind of, happy and cheery, this game literally begins in the middle of the night during a thunderstorm when your mom waking you up and saying, we gotta get the fuck out of town. So, I think it's a very interesting way to begin an RPG. And my dad actually played this when I was a kid. I actually remember this was one of the games that my dad had for the Game Boy, and the ones he played. And I tried playing it, but I couldn't really get into it. Because I was like, Golden Sun was like 2001. 2001, 2002. So I literally was like 5, and I wasn't the age to really play a slower RPG. So I tried playing it and couldn't really. I will also say that the art in this game, the pixel art, is really good. And that's one of the things the modular said that attracted me to this. This game has really high quality pixel art. The JRPG practice of going to everyone's house and taking everything that's not nailed down. What do you mean breaking in and entering? I'm just exploring. And people have made jokes about that for years. About Link and Legend of Zelda just going into a random building and breaking everything in sight. What the fuck are you doing, man? Just imagine a blonde kid walking into your establishment. Fucking throwing your fucking vases and shit around the room. Like, what? And I like how even though this village is technically in the process of being destroyed, they still let you explore it, and it feels like a whole village. I have multiple shops, a stable. A lot of games that make you like have a location like this that gets destroyed would just have you not be able to enter any of this. He's like, we're in a race against time, you must hurry. Nah, bro, I'm looking around. I might just, chill the night at the inn. Fuck that boulder. Okay? The boulder is a deep state hoax. You're just gonna listen to the fake news? Look, we can see the boulder above us. No. Fake news. The boulder can only get you if you think that it can. Don't let the boulder get in your head. The boulder's playing mind games. Oh shit. Okay, so it kind of was a slideshow there for a second. Did everybody die, or I guess his dad just died? How could we anticipate Soul Sanctum and unleash such fury? What? Man, beat up some small kids. That's fair. Wow, it's one shot at me. Well, that's it. Game over, guys. Washed away. Well, that was a pretty interesting introduction for a game. 3 years later. The cute SpongeBob voice. 3 years later. looks like Isaac's balls dropped. What is it, Isaac? Do you still think about the accident? Yeah. The accident where I was, like, nearly murdered by an adult? And my dad was fucking killed by a boulder? Yeah! Yeah, I still think about that. It was only 3 years ago. Yeah. Okay, so he's almost 17. So he was 13 back in that original flashback. Almost 14. Okay. Okay, so now we're going up the mountain where the boulder came from. And they're studying alchemy. Alchemy is the foundation of all energy. And you all know Mount Aleph is the greatest source of alchemy. Okay, I didn't know that. They say Kraden is the best teacher around. Oh my god, he's unpatching the roof. Motherfucker. Garrett and Jenna join your party. Okay, so they have the secret psi energy, but they're not allowed to divulge it, apparently. Okay, I guess that's Garrett's mom and dad. Okay, so Garrett's dad is grandpa is the mayor. shop. Do I have any items? Okay, I've got some items. Alright. Satoros. Minardi. Satoros and Minardi. You're not planning on sneaking up here, are you? No? And immediately runs past him. Oh, man. Have you seen the movie The Painted Veil? No, I have not. I've seen bits of it. I think you're talking about with the doctor. He's a doctor. I think it's based on a real life story. I really like Edward Norton though. I've seen a lot of his movies. Yeah, and Liev Schreiber's in it. I like Liev Schreiber too. Yeah. Well, like I said, I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it, and I've seen a couple of scenes. Some shorts popped up on YouTube. Weirdly. It's actually kind of weird because I've actually seen most of Edward Norton's movies. I tell you what, if you want to see a movie with Edward Norton you probably haven't seen that I would strongly suggest, it's called Stone. Fucking awesome movie. It's got Edward Norton, Robert De Niro, Milo Jovovich. I always used to say Djokovic, which is Jovovich. He is a guy that went to rob his parents' house because his parents are abusive. And his friend, yeah, I need to look it up. His friend, burned his parents' house down and killed them. He didn't know what his friend was going to do, that his friend was going to set a fire. So, Edward Norton's character has been in jail for like 15 years for something, you know, that he deeply regrets. And he's coming up on a parole hearing. And Edward Norton plays a gangster. He talks with a waspy voice like this. Yeah. And he's got fucking cornrows and shit. It's not any other type of role you've ever seen Edward Norton in. Because he was in Detroit. Grew up, you know what I'm saying? 6 Mile. And he has his wife, Mila Jovovich tried to seduce Robert De Niro, his parole officer, to try and get his parole passed. And Robert De Niro, I can't even do it, but it's like he speaks with like a Detroit twang to his voice, but he speaks like a whisper, like his throat was hurt. And I guarantee you've never seen Edward Norton talking like that or looking like that. And so the goal is to get him to her to sleep with Robert De Niro, so his parole is given, so he can get out of jail finally. But Robert De Niro also has his Robert De Niro also has his own mental issues, and he has a tumultuous relationship with his ex-wife or his wife. And the whole movie is like a three-way power struggle between Edward Norton, his wife, Mila Jovovich, and Robert De Niro. And they all have their own motives and agendas. They all have their own secrets. And it's a really, really fucking good movie. I caught it randomly on TV many years ago. And I saw Edward Norton and cornrows. I'm like, what? And I watched the movie and I'm like, wow, this movie's really good. And like I said, it was made low budget. It's mostly about the drama between the characters. But, you know, like Edward Norton's character, he's genuinely trying to turn his life around. Like I said, he just went to rob his parents because they were abusive. He didn't think his friend was gonna, like, burn the fucking house down and kill his parents. So he's changed. He was like 15 when this happened in the movie. He spent most of his adult life in prison. He just wants out and a chance to actually have a fucking life. And, you know, Robert De Niro, he's like supposedly the good guy, the parole officer, but he's got a lot of skeletons in his closet. And so they play with that. You know, that the guy who did something terrible is the one trying to get his life together, and the guy who's supposedly the corrections officer is not as holy and sanctimonious as he seems. And Mila Jovovich actually starts to get feelings for Robert De Niro. So she hasn't seen her husband in years because he's been in jail. So it becomes this whole awkward fucking tryst between the three of them. And it's carried by their acting. Because they're all three fucking great actors. You know, Mila Jovovich, people, they think of her, they just think of, like, you know, Resident Evil, where she's not really acting. But if you've seen other movies she's done, like The Fifth Element, she can act. Just for the right movie. So it's a really good movie. And I highly recommend it if you ever get the chance to see it. Stone. Maybe I'll watch it in group movie night if I can find it. Because it's a really good movie. And I know a lot of people who like Robert De Niro, who like Edward Norton, and they've never fucking heard of Stone. Like, it was a box office flop. It didn't get a lot of promotion. It just kind of quietly landed. But I really like the movie. I will say I like the sprite work in this game. So they obviously had a lot of very limited power with the Game Boy, but they did a good job. And actually, that's another reason why people love Golden Sun, because it has an emphasis on puzzle solving that a lot of other RPGs didn't. You get, like, psychic abilities. Like, you can move shit with your mind. You can eventually read people's thoughts. And you have to solve puzzles. But, I especially like the battles. Because a lot of Game Boy games, they do 2D, like Pokemon, even, would not actually show the actual characters attacking. So, like, when you, like, if you play, even in, like, Fire Red for GBA, you would hear scratch, and then you would see the scratch, but you wouldn't actually see Charmander's scratch. You know what I mean? Where in this game, when you attack, you actually see the character attack the other enemy. And, like, you actually see, like, a more advanced animation when you do a critical hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shows them going through the air and, like, charging up. So, instead of it just looking the same. So, I will agree with that. It actually just makes me kind of sad, not even gonna lie. Because Camelot used to be doing games like this. And now they're just doing fucking Nintendo sports games. I mean, I guess if you like Mario Tennis, that's fine. I've heard people say the Mario sports games are good, but it's just like, they used to be making kick-ass RPGs like this, and now they're just doing Mario Tennis. It just feels like a fucking waste to me. Actually, you know, hold on. Let me see something. I need to find... I should have a cord. For Xbox, I can at least play with my headset. I'm looking for a specific... there it is. Okay. Next time I need it, I'll try to set that up. Xbox has a thing where it auto outputs the TV audio and the headset, which means I can play with the headphone. PlayStation really doesn't do that in the same way. Not for streaming anyway. Isaac is now a level 2 Squire. Mastered the Squire's Quake. That's cool. What the fuck is the Squire's Quake, though? Treasure. Small jewel. Huh. I also like it because the encounter rate isn't through the roof. I can deal with games that have random encounters. I would prefer that you'd see the enemies on screen and you attack them. But some games have way too high fucking random encounter rates. A lot of those early RPGs had encounter rates through the roof. I guess now's my chance to try my thing. Attack with a powerful quake. Oh, it attacks all enemies. Nice. Garrett is now a level 2 guard. Oh! That's what the green stone is for. Oh, it's gonna be that empty hallway on the left. Oh, that's cool. They also apparently did a third Golden Sun game on the DS called Golden Sun Dark Dawn, and I've heard mixed things. I've heard that it is a good DS game, that people like it. But it it is the kids of the characters from Golden Sun, and so a lot of people are upset about that because they didn't want to play the new generation. They wanted to play the characters, but I can't really get that working yet. Oh no. Xbox One doesn't really do DS streaming, unfortunately. Maybe one day. One second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink. Get a bite to eat. I'm not gonna end the stream. I'll just be right back. Alright, now. Open my drink. I'm probably gonna play a bunch of retro games. I'm probably also gonna start up Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga after this. That was a game I played the shit of on the Game Boy. One of my most played Game Boy games. And probably some Metroid. Jenna is now a level 2 flame user. Okay. Aha, treasure! Okay, let me look around a little more. That's the exit. wonder why the fucking random encounter rate is so high up here, man. Oh, we got caught by surprise. Fucking bullshit. Okay, so that's if I would have came in the other way. Okay. Quick! Yeah, the menu is kind of clunky for the powers, but it's fucking Game Boy. They only had 2 buttons. You know what I mean? Well, 4 with the left and right, but they didn't have a lot of buttons on Game Boy. Haha! Okay, I think that's the dead end. Or maybe not. Oh, wait a minute. Aha! Oh shit. Oh hey, Isaac's now level 3 Squire. Oh shit. Aha. Critical hit! Oh shit. Oh, hey, Jen leveled up. And she still doesn't have... She's a level 3 flame user that doesn't have any flame spells. Way to go, Jenna. Oh, shit. Okay, so his quick can only hit 3 enemies at once. Oh, shit. You know I'm all about that herb. Oh shit, I'm feeling a boss fight coming on. Oh shit. Oh! Oh, hey, shiny cave. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I clearly made progress by dropping the statue in the fucking hole, but I'm not really sure what I did. Oh shit, you can actually set... Oh, I didn't even see that! You can actually set the psi energy to L and R. Oh, wow. Oh, that's really helpful to know. So I'm actually liking this game. I mean, for a first dungeon in an RPG, that's pretty good. Somehow I feel like they are gonna follow us here, the bad guys. The Venus Star, the element stone of Earth. Mercury Star, possessing the power of water's many forms. Right? Yeah. Like I said, they went to Camelot, Nintendo went to Camelot, because they were known for doing, well, kinda. 16, really, honestly. Even though it was in the era of 32-bit, it was still 16 bits. They went to Camelot. Nintendo went to Camelot because they were known for doing RPGs in the Genesis and Saturn. So they wanted a big RPG on Game Boy, and that's what they gave them. But yeah, they definitely make the most out of the hardware. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga looks ridiculously great as well. I actually think that Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga has some of the best sprites ever made ever. Like, some of the best sprite work I've ever seen. Mars Star. So these are all named off the Roman gods. Venus, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. Oh, the Wisdom Stone. It's basically the Philosopher's Stone. It can transmute crude matter into gold, even thwart death itself. So, this kind of seems like it's following kind of the same principle of Fullmetal Alchemist. If you've ever seen Fullmetal Alchemist, which I highly recommend, one of these days we'll do a watch party for Brotherhood in the group. But Fullmetal Alchemist is all about alchemy. But it has rules. You can't create something out of nothing. It's the law of equivalent exchange. So, if you want to create a pound of rock, you need to give a pound of water. It has to be an equivalent exchange. There are rules to the alchemy. That's why, like, a lot of the alchemists in that show have, or the manga as well, have tools on them. They don't just create something out of nothing. like somebody having like water to turn into earth. But they're all looking for the Philosopher's Stone that can just break the fucking laws of equivalent exchange and allow you to turn anything into anything. I can turn dust into gold, and yada yada yada. And it's called the Wisdom Stone, but it's basically the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah, my feeling is they tracked those two elf bitches, tracked us to the sanctum, and they're gonna take the stones. And that's where we get into the cataclysm of world-ending proportions. They're made of woven threads of mithril. Wow. That's insane. The Origins of Alchemy, and it said 54% of players got that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know why I'm surprised, but it's like, okay, so only 54% of people got the fucking... beat the first dungeon. And I keep forgetting, like, people have a very short fucking attention span. You see, it's almost a thing, okay. It's a general rule of thumb that before you decide if you like or don't like an RPG, you should give it at least 3 hours. That's my general rule of thumb. Because RPGs, take a little bit longer to get rolling. They're much longer games. And because they don't want to overwhelm you with exposition and throw you into it right away, they usually take a little while to open up. To show you the story, to introduce you to the characters, to introduce you to the mechanics. So, like, while a harder game, or something like that, gets going pretty quickly usually, games like RPGs take a while to get going. So you should always invest at least 3 hours into a game before you decide if it's worth playing or not. And I played, so I played an hour and 46 minutes, and that's with me taking my time. When I first started, I was literally looking at every building in the village, talking to every NPC. So, most people are not going to talk to every NPC in a game. That's something that I do in an RPG. I try to talk to everyone. Take my time. So I'm saying you could get here in like an hour, if you cut out all the wandering around, taking your time. And so, like, most people didn't even fucking get to the hour mark. And of course, this is just retro achievements, but yeah, it sucks when you're like only roughly half the people even got to the first dungeon. Okay, most of these trophy or achievements, these retro achievements, are actually not that bad. I love how the defeat the final boss, complete the game, is praise the sun. I see what you did there. And I always have I always have redundancy too. I have my all my saves saved in my hard drive, my emulator saves, and then I also have them saved in my computer. So I back up every save that I have. For me, you know, time is like a game's most precious currency. Ah, okay. Well, that's cool. And that's why I love Xbox Dev Mode. I could actually, I know you have a Series X, Philippe, I'm pretty sure you do. I can actually show you how to put it into Dev Mode, man, and play these older games. You have a Series X, so you can actually do all the way up to Wii. I'm kind of, PS1 is kind of the stopping point for Xbox One with the CPU. But like I said, I could have you, I could walk you through it, dude, and you could play a lot of these older games. NES, SNES, Genesis, Sega CD, PS1, 64. It's actually weirdly hard to emulate 64, so even though PS1 is emulatable on Xbox, 64 is not really on Xbox One, but you could on 64. You know, PS2. It just depends on your PC, how good your PC is, though. That's the thing. Unless you have a really good PC, your PC is probably not more capable of emulating than your Series X. That's the thing. Series X actually is a fucking beast for emulation. And it's actually really cheap, because if you wanted to get, I mean, Series X can literally run almost every PS4 game at I'm sorry. Series X can run almost every PS2 game at 4K. Oh, then there you go, then you're good to go. And your PC is fine. But for me, this is kind of the only option. My PC is okay, but it's not really good for emulating and capturing. So, ideally, I would have liked to have just emulate the game and capture it on the same PC. But my CPU on my PC is not that good, so it starts lagging and shit, even playing Game Boy games when I start recording and streaming from the same system. So that's why that's why I do it the way I'm doing it, basically, because my PC is kind of low powered. So I need to save all the power I can. So I have the Xbox doing the work of the emulation, and then my PC is literally just capturing it. Like right now, I don't have internet open, I don't have anything open, my PC is literally just capturing it. Yeah, PS3 emulation is still in its infancy, honestly. Partially just because it's really hard to emulate. PS3 is one of the most difficult systems to emulate due to the way it was set up. Yep, I knew it. See? That's Felix. The little boy who nearly drowned earlier. He seems like he's the bad guy until you find out what's going on. And then he winds up being the star of the second game. That's her brother she thought died. So they were the ones who saved Felix. But then they attacked the other two kids. So I guess we murder some and then others get the pass? What the fuck? Yeah, let's give the bad guys the impossibly powerful artifacts. Oh shit. Fuck. Yeah, boss fight. Do you know what it is? No! Why the fuck would I know what it is? The wise one? What the fuck is that? Oh, they're taking her as hostage. If they want her back, they will bring us the star. Oh, shit got fucking real. Yeah, sure, just leave us in this fucking crashing cage. Leave us in this fucking crashing cage with the fucking ball sack. Oh, it's sound effect. The Mars Star. Well, this turned out badly, wouldn't you say? Yeah. No, because they need the fucking stone that we have. They hurt Jenna and Creighton, that's their leverage gone. Oh shit, yeah. Boss fight, of course, now we're down to 2 party members. Oh, the eye's talking to them? Telling them to leave? Okay, so the eye's friendly. And yeah, you use summons in this game, gens. Okay, so there's a huge volcano that was being held in check by this. If the elemental stars ignite the flames of the 4 lighthouses, that power will be released. Okay, so it turned out the eyeball dude was actually a pretty solid guy. Well, you didn't judge a book by its cover. And we sure as shit fucked this up. And this poor village. Previously it got fucked up by a boulder crash, and now it's like it's gonna get hit by a volcano. Well, you see, it all started. This is a story all about how I've got flipped turned upside down. I guess is like a montage showing them, telling them the whole story. Gotta never let me gotta never let me I never let you give me do the new I never let you give me do the new bagels. Okay, so the wise one says that it's up to us. Oh, there's the world map. Go have short sword. Yeah, wait. Alright, I'm going to take a short